What's good, YouTube? We're back in another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Kevin Durant trade because it is going to happen very soon, sooner than you actually think. A report came out by Shams just today where he himself said that it will happen within the next few days. So expected by around next week, it is going to happen. Today, we also found out that there are 3 finalist teams remaining, and we're going to talk about each one of those teams. I have come up with realistic trade packages for each of these teams. We're going to talk about what I think of the trade, what the packages could look like, and how the fit will be in the long term and whether it is a successful trade or not. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Starting off, we're talking about the Houston Rockets, my Houston Rockets. And as a Rockets fan myself, I don't want this, bro. I don't want Kevin Durant on my team. If I'm being completely 100% transparent, I want the team to develop all the young guys, but it all depends on how much the Phoenix Suns value Kevin Durant. I have come up with 2 trade packages which make sense. The first one being Kevin Durant for Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks. The salaries match completely, and to this one I say absolutely not. Bro, first thing about Kevin Durant, he has 1 year left on his deal. He has a $54 million salary. He hasn't found success since 2021, and he has maybe 2 to 3 years left of this level of performance in his career. I don't want it. But there is one trade the Rockets could do, which I will honestly be very happy about. With that trade being Kevin Durant for Fred VanVleet, Tari Eason, the Rockets' 10th overall pick this year, which was originally Phoenix's pick in the first place, and then their 2027 Phoenix first-round pick, which the Rockets own at the moment. I think this one makes the most sense for the Suns. I honestly think that, look, they want to be able to dictate their future. Their team obviously has been underperforming the past few seasons, and they don't know if they're going to keep Devin Booker in the long term. What's going to happen with him? He's going to be making $60 million a year soon. What's going on with Bradley Beal? The team's a mess. But if they get their picks back, they're at least going to be able to dictate what they want to do. If they want to go on a full-on rebuild at any given moment, they can because they have their own picks. They can't do that right now. They can't just blow the team up because if they do, it'll be for absolutely no reason. It's essential for Phoenix to get their picks back, and this trade allows them to do that. On top of that, you get a good young player in Tari Eason, who I, as a Rockets fan, would hate to give up. I love Tari, bro. The Tari twins. Man, I don't want to give up Tari, but, I mean, in this trade, it makes sense on the Phoenix Suns end for them wanting that. And you get Fred VanVleet, a good veteran player who could help you win now if that is what the Suns are deciding to do. On top of that, you get your 10th overall pick from this year. I think if this is the trade package for Kevin Durant, I don't mind experimenting with that as a Rockets fan. I'd be kind of down for that. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves, who also have a really solid trade package, and I think that this trade makes the most sense. However, there's a big problem with that. First, I'm going to talk about the trade itself. Kevin Durant for Julius Randle, Reid, and Rob Dillingham. Why does this make sense as what Phoenix wants to do? First of all, you get Julius Randle, great win-now veteran. You get Reid, who obviously has great production, and I think he would be able to fit seamlessly into any given team. And then you get Rob Dillingham, who's a good young player. And then on Minnesota's end, it makes the most sense because you already talked about how Anthony Edwards said that Kevin Durant is his favorite player. Why not match them up? First of all, Kevin Durant, you don't have to worry about him being a locker room presence because I think out of all the teams that he could possibly go to, he'd like it in Minnesota the most. I know Jimmy Butler didn't, but look, hopefully Anthony Edwards makes it easier for Kevin Durant. But on top of that, you get another juggernaut player, which is what the Minnesota Timberwolves were talking about before. What they wanted to do this offseason was to get another player to be with Anthony Edwards. And you get another star in Kevin Durant in this trade. You still get to keep Mike Conley. You still get to keep Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels. So you still have a good foundation of your team. You don't have to give up too much. It does suck to give up Reid, though, I will say. And Julius Randle did have a great season. But Kevin Durant would like it there in Minnesota. And I think that it makes sense for the Phoenix Suns as well because it helps them kind of win now if that is the direction that they try to go in. They just hired a new head coach. So it does seem like they still want to compete. But I think this is a win-win for both teams. It does suck for the Suns that they still don't have the draft picks in this case scenario. And honestly, in this situation, I don't even think that the Minnesota Timberwolves really need to give them any draft picks because they're already compensating so much. But I like this trade. Personally, I like it. The third finalist that is in talks, and this one honestly caught me off guard, bro. I had no idea this was going to happen. I saw it last night on Aiden Ross's stream that Tyler here was talking about Kevin Durant, but it is the Miami Heat because all of a sudden, the Miami Heat are legit in reports to land Kevin Durant, but I will take this with a grain of salt because if you know anything about Pat Riley, this guy does not want to make moves. This guy is so stubborn when it comes to who he wants to give up in these trades. You obviously saw them missing out on Damian Lillard in the past. You saw them missing out on a bunch of other players. We can just go down the list, bro. Bradley Beal was another, and they really just never tried to make a push to get another player to team up with Jimmy Butler in those Miami Heat runs to the finals. That's just the Heat. But I have delivered a good trade package, which I think is competent. If they are truly a finalist team, I do expect the package to look somewhat like this. Kevin Durant for Andrew Wiggins, Duncan Robinson, and the Miami Heat's own 2026 and 2028 first-round picks. They're going to be needing to include the picks in this trade because a package centered on Andrew Wiggins, to be honest, bro, out of all of these, it's the worst. And they're going to need to compensate with the picks. I don't know if these picks are really going to be too good because next year, the Heat are still going to be a solid team if they are able to land Kevin Durant. They're still going to have Tyler Herro. They're still going to have Bam Adebayo. And they're still going to be able to have good, competent years of Kevin Durant left. The only thing is, out of all the potential trades that I have talked about before, I easily think that this is the weakest one. And I know Tyler Herro wants it really bad the way he was on stream last night, but I don't know if Kevin Durant is going to like it down there in South Beach himself because does he really fit into that Heat culture? Is he going to like being bossed around like that? Because we always have heard about the antics of Kevin Durant in the locker room. I don't think he's going to like it down there, man. If I'm going to be real, I don't know how I feel about this trade. I think that it is clearly the weakest one, but the Heat have been named as finalists to land Kevin Durant. And I think if there is a package, truly, it's probably going to be centered something like this, structured something similar to around this level where it's 2 picks and then you get Andrew Wiggins and then another player, Duncan Robinson, solid role player. It's probably going to be something like that. Out of all of these, though, what I do think makes the most sense is the Kevin Durant for Fred VanVleet, Tari Eason, the 10th pick, and the 2027 Phoenix pick. It just makes the most sense because they're going to be able to go in whichever direction that they want to. They don't have to be handicapped because I ain't gonna lie, the Rockets kind of sun the Phoenix Suns, no pun intended, at the moment because they don't have any of the draft picks, and the Rockets have full control over them. They can't even decide to do a rebuild. They have no direction. So if they get that, they will. But I think if they want to go win now mode, it makes the most sense to do that Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Rob Dillingham trade. I mean, if the Phoenix Suns still want to compete, they still can. They still have Bradley Beal, who is buns now. We can't even lie. Like, Bradley Beal is high-key buns now. But they still have Devin Booker. And I truly think that any given year where you do have Devin Booker, you shouldn't be trying to tank. Either you trade Devin Booker and go on a full-on rebuild, or you try to build the right pieces around him, which I think that Timberwolves trade does do. But if you're still here, just know I appreciate you. Let me know which one of these trades you think makes the most sense. Do you think that these trades even make sense in the first place? Or do you see the package for Kevin Durant being somewhat different? Do you see it being for another team? Or do you think it's truly these teams who are the finalists? We're going to find out within the next few days anyways. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to catch you on the next one. Take care.